You're listening to Heather's Do Vegas. Join your go-to duo for all things celebrity gossip, reality TV reviews, fashion tips, and of course, all the inside scoop on Sin City.
Hello and welcome to Heather's Do Vegas. I'm Heather Ashley.
I'm Heather Nicole. Welcome to Vegas in November, Heather.
Thank you. It's a little
It's
chilly. I got
cold
my
here.
sweatshirt on. You got your sweatshirt on. We're matching a little matchy
Yes.
match.
We're giving a shout out to the Real Housewives of OC and Aviator Nation. We need to be sponsored too.
Yes, and I've been a fan of this brand before I saw them wearing it on the OC, because I was looking for cute aviator for our AAA baseball team.
Oh
Some
yeah.
cute merch because they don't
Yep.
have any cute merch. So I was like Googling aviator merch and I came upon them, and this was years ago, and then I'm like, wait a minute, I'll wearing it on the OC.
Yeah, but
So
Dolores Catania's been wearing it for years.
has she?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good brand. There's
She's the
cute stuff.
OG.
The
But speaking of
OG.
how cold it is here, my cousin was here this week and she laid out on Wednesday.
Did she get a little tan?
No, but it was like, what was it on Wednesday? Like 60 something?
Oh my gosh. Wait, was the pool open where
Yes,
she was?
it's Vegas. They were in the pool with a man that now dresses as a woman who with a husband that called his wife from the hot tub. Because we saw them on Thursday.
Oh, fun. Oh my gosh. I know. Where were we? You should have called me up. That would have been a hoot.
You mean what they did? So my cousin's
Um,
from Montana, you guys. I did say, Yellowstone started. I did say, so is it like it is on TV? Because I said I guess their husband's number one complaint is it's not like anything you see on TV. I said, what is the biggest misconception that, you can't just leave the ranch and go to town? And that in fact is what is the biggest misconception? It's like, 2 to 6 hours between the ranches and town. I said, is the other one that all the cowboys are hot? She's like, oh no, they're all hot. I was like, oh. Let's go to Montana.
road trip. Oh, funny. Well, hey, we got a fun show. I'm excited to get started. And speaking of nice looking men, Leonardo DiCaprio is 50 now, if you can believe it. He had a big party, big bash, and of course he had his model girlfriend by his side. I'm sure, I think, what, no older than 25. I mean, how long
Yes.
do you think he's going to be able to pull that off?
Well, that reminds me of that Babyface song they did on SNL. But it's creepy now. It's creepy now. You can
Yeah,
you can like a model or you can like young women, but he's like when he was dating Gigi Hadid, I don't even think she was over 20 at the time.
yeah.
I mean,
Good actor, so talented.
he is. I like all of his movies, I just think that there's probably some report that's hidden on him at this point.
Yeah, you never know, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, on the cringe factor, uh, MGK, Machine Gun Kelly, and Megan Fox are expecting a baby together. Interesting. And he's an interesting fellow. I don't, did you ever see he had
I
like a
did.
docu-series or
Yep.
yeah, some kind of doc.
Yeah.
And I did grow to like him from watching that. I
Hmm.
didn't really know a thing about him. I didn't even realize how many great songs he had until I watched
Hmm.
it.
Yep.
But he's so lanky. It grosses me out.
I don't mind that. I think he's talented, but I think he struggles with a lot of demons. I would say that the two of them probably, I mean, their fights are, if they were lived in normal houses, like, normal that were next to each other, they'd probably have calls to police all the time, right? Because she won't back down and he won't back down.
Mm.
But not that Brian Austin Green is walking the park, right? I don't think he is either.
You know, he's so adorable to me, but I mean, I like grew up on him with 90210, and so in a way, he can do no wrong in my eyes, and
Mm.
I'm just, you know, I adore him, but yeah, if I had to pick one or the other, I mean, definitely Brian Austin Green, but who knows? He might be a strange dude too.
I think his wife is young too. I mean, what did you see that, life imitated art and him and Donna actually hook up in real life and then he forgot?
Oh, yes. I did see that. That was so funny. Right, because they dated. I had forgotten all about that. They dated in real life when they were on the show together.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Memories. Oh my gosh. All right, another cutie out there, John Krasinski has been named sexiest man alive by People magazine. What do you think about that?
I like that. I mean, let's consider personality when we nominate these guys. He seems like he is a fun person to be around. He seems extremely witty. He is a tall king though, right? He's over 6 feet tall. So he's pretty much total package, right? I didn't watch
Yeah,
The Office. Did you? I never watched The Office. I watched like 6 episodes. That's all I could do.
I watched it in syndication a little bit,
Hmm.
but I was not a diehard fan. But initially, my thought was, oh, kind of a boring choice. But I could see where he's one of those people that in real life you'd probably adore him because he's smart, he's probably funny, he seems like a good family guy, husband, father, etc. So I yeah, probably a solid choice for the sexiest man alive.
Because they don't like to repeat, right? So who would you have chosen this year?
Ooh, who would I have
Probably Travis
chosen?
Kelsey, right? He's more on the buzz.
I could see that happening, but he's so oversaturated. I'm tired of I'm really tired of him.
I actually think he's a good dude.
Yeah.
But that's why I would have picked.
Some other guys out there. So Queer Eye, do you remember that show? It
Yes.
used to be, I think they shortened it from Queer Eye for the straight guy to just Queer Eye.
Yes.
And so their new season, they filmed here in Vegas. And the new season's coming out December 11th. And they added a new guy to the group,
Oh.
Jeremiah, or sorry, um, yes, Jeremiah Brent, who is married to Nate Berkus. You may,
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
yeah. And so
Nice. Good choice.
Jeremiah, you may recall he had a little stint on the Rachel Zoe project
Yes. I do
as her
remember.
one
I
of
did love
her
that show.
assistants.
Long time Rachel fan. I love a sequined to the ground dress to the grocery store.
Yes,
To the grocery store.
she's a sequin queen for sure.
Yes.
I know. I'd love to see her back in something. I adore her. She does a few guest appearances on Eve for some of the red carpets, and I love seeing her back again. So um, yeah. Oh, okay. So question for you.
Hmm.
So the premise of Queer Eye is people kind of nominate somebody that they know who needs help with redoing their life, feng
Hmm.
shuiing their look and their house or whatever it may be. Is there somebody that you would put forward for the Queer Eye to come in?
A man in town that I could think of?
Or actually, I think it could be anybody. It doesn't. It could be man or woman.
Oh, gosh, I don't know. I no, nothing would come to mind, but I can tell you I'm always looking for a straight guy with a queer eye. Somebody to say that's a nice dress. I need you to recognize what I'm wearing, the effort. I need it not to go
Yeah,
unnoticed.
preferably a hairdresser and a makeup artist.
No, he's got to watch football.
Okay. Oh, I
No,
think
can
that's
you
a
think of someone? I cannot think of anyone.
I mean, yeah, there's maybe some people. I don't want to, you know, indicate the innocent, but
Yeah.
but yeah, that would be fun to have somebody that on there. Uh, All right, so it was a good week for our housewives. Which did you catch all of them? RHONY
I did.
and Salt Lake?
I I have to give a shout out to Peacock. We're gonna tag Peacock. When you watch the Real Housewives of OC uncensored, it is a game changer. It makes so much more sense when you see them say the F word in their the way they talk to each other. So
Hmm.
you're getting the filtered out version. Now I've watched the reunion 2 weeks in a row, the unfiltered version. I would always watch that now. They they
I've heard
they
that.
shorten their full statements to each other.
Hmm.
And I mean Shannon, I'm not gonna lie to you, Heather. I'm not a Shannon fan. I don't. I
Hmm.
think you probably know that. What she said this week, I was like, Shannon, you can hammer Jesus jug, Shannon. Go for it.
Oh, funny.
There's the
I don't.
door. There's the door, Shannon Bedore, and there's no door.
I know.
It's hilarious.
I didn't see all of the reunions. I think I'm right there on the second one. But what I have seen is good stuff. And what you're saying about the uncensored version, yes, I have heard that from other other sources that that is a game changer.
Hmm.
But yeah, the reunions have been really good. And I was taken aback by this whole Katie. I mean, she's got some scandals going. And, I mean, if Heather Dubrow was looking to get rid of her, well, she just guaranteed that she's got another season coming because now we all want to know about all of these scandals this woman has in her,
First of
in
all,
all the skeletons in the closet.
I think when they talked about it last week, I have to say the way Katie explained it and the way Heather explained it made me lean more towards Heather's side. I think she was on her phone texting and someone got mad. I don't think you pull over because someone's following you.
Hmm.
But the fact that she had her kids taken away, we just found this out at the reunion, that's like super hot tea.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it really, yeah, interesting, scandalous. I was really surprised by it, and you know, it's good for them that they're spicing up the reunions this way, as opposed to just rehashing the stuff we've already we saw in the regular episodes.
Hmm.
They're getting so savvy in bringing up something that you did not see during the regular season. So,
I do have to give a shout out to Vegas here for a minute because and I'm making our party island, right? We're taking our dream squad to Cabo, right? And I'm taking Emily. I'm now taking Gina. So I want to say that on Gina's Instagram, Gina and Emily sneak into Vegas all the time. Gina takes in concerts
mm,
all the time. I think we were at Rolling Stones with one of the two of them, but they were just here for another concert the other day. So Gina's coming on there. Emily's coming on there. I'm going
uh-huh.
to keep this going. But and then also, Ryan and Jen come to Vegas all the time. So if you look at like the Cassie Beach Instagram, they're on their own Instagram too. So they're
Oh,
showing
wow.
Vegas lots of love.
All right.
I like
Well,
it.
what's not to love?
I know. the
Yeah, we'll let the Heathers
next
know
the
we
next
come and hang
morning.
out. Yeah, the next right. That yeah, you may not love the next morning. So RHONY, what did you think of the fake pregnancy?
I mean, I think they made. I didn't like it in totality either. I agree with Jeff Lewis. I watched him on Andy's show. By the way, some sexual tension there between the two of them. Um, I didn't like it, but holy shit, did they just prove that those girls spread a rumor like it's a game of telephone. And
Yes.
Bryn is probably the driver of that.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was an interesting social experiment.
Hmm.
So for that, I, I appreciated that, and it was worth doing for
Hmm.
that that part of it. Did it mess with the audience and people are probably unhappy about that and um you feel like you got duped, but eh, oh well. I mean, this season, this cast, they're getting a lot of hate from a lot of different podcasts. I don't hear one that likes this whole new
Really?
cast.
So
Yeah.
what's their major problem with them?
that it's boring. They're
Yeah,
boring,
it was,
and yeah, and that the things that they bring up are just, I mean, it's kind of what I complained about, where they're fighting over nothing, over
yeah.
saying things like, oh, you're not sharing your real feelings, or fighting, over an Uber. It's not that interesting.
The RHONY Legacy trip, Girls Island trip was, I've watched the whole season twice. I loved it. Just do a trip. Bravo, just do a trip. You're not in
Yeah,
for a 6 month record or however long it takes.
yeah. I
But
mean, they may pick up and get more exciting, but we'll see.
yeah.
What is exciting is the thought of our Craigie Poo, as I call him now, um, that he might be single. I'm still not sure about this. I'm gonna leave that to your investigative skills.
I'm gonna say, okay, so in the grand scheme of things, whether or not the rumors online are true, I think on some level that Craig irritates the shit out of Paige.
Hmm,
Their personalities do not fit. She is looking for someone that's more take charge. I do not think that in real life Craig is take charge. I think that irritated Naomi. I was just watching old episodes the other day of Summer Southern Charmed. So whether or not it's true, but the fact that she's not going to move, okay? And in
right.
most relationships, you guys put a comment if I'm wrong. The woman moves to where the man lives.
Yeah,
She
I
is
mean,
not moving.
she's not moving. And isn't she on tour right now
Yes.
with her
Hmm.
what's her name? Oh,
Hannah.
Hannah
Yeah.
Berner, who they have, yeah.
Hmm.
I
I
mean,
would
that's
love
got to
to
put a
see
lot of
them.
stress.
I would love to see them. I look for Countess Luann. Girls, Giggly Squad, come to Vegas.
I know.
Countess, come to
Countess.
Vegas. Sabrina
She could,
Carpenter, come to Vegas.
yeah, she could fill a smaller theater for sure,
Oh, she could have
you
a
know.
6 month run here. Her and Sonya could
A,
alternate nights.
a real residency.
Real. Yeah, you only have to have 4 shows to have a residency.
That is true. Oh,
I do
that's
want to give a
funny.
plug for Salt Lake. I mean, that's just going down a bunny hole, but I'm gonna promise you we're gonna see I don't wear coach and I don't fly coach on t-shirts from Lisa Barlow. I was like, I had to look up. That was one of the most iconic lines I've heard in a year. She goes,
Yes.
I don't fly coach and I don't wear coach. I was like, oh, well said, Lisa. Well said.
Yes, I don't think she's going to be getting a coach endorsement anytime soon.
Oh, I was impressed.
Yeah, that was a zinger. This was Salt Lake was really good this week, I thought. I I enjoyed seeing the rest of their trip. I thought that was a lot of fun, and I promised myself that I'm not going to lay into Bronwyn.
Bronwyn.
That I'm going to take a week off from her.
Okay.
I I did enjoy her, and I'm still a fan of the husband. And I thought it was, every episode now we're seeing a little more and more from the husbands. They're getting
Yes.
a little more screen time, they're getting
Hmm.
in the mix, and it's kind of interesting. I personally enjoy it because I like it it deepens the dimension of
Hmm.
these women when see them interact with the husband and you see the husbands interact with each other. So
Hmm.
I personally kind of enjoy it. I think that's why I like the New Jersey, because the husbands are so integral into the show.
Yes.
But
Mhm.
um oh my gosh, when they were sitting at the table that one evening and they were getting into it with Meredith and her
Oh
husband
yeah.
Seth, right? And I mean, basically he calls Whitney a
He screamed
biatch,
across the table. Yeah.
screamed like a lunatic. I thought, I'm surprised Whitney's husband didn't, jump over the table. I
And
could have
and
seen that
no
happening.
ounce of life was that okay.
Oh, I know.
I thought that was horrendous.
It was. It really was. So it just tells me I think we're going to see a little more and more out of these guys because they're so heated up and they're now kind of part of the storyline for sure.
I mean, I have seen, I don't know if you've seen Heather on Instagram pop up lately, but she definitely is, looks even more different now. But the only reason, not to link to what you just said, but I've seen those girls, those Salt Lake City girls, they hang out with, the TikTok moms. And then there's all those bloggers that live in Utah, Salt Lake City. And Heather was at one of their dinners the other day. Emily and Gemma and Rachel Parcell, all those bloggers that were like the 10 most popular bloggers, and they all hang out together.
Well, yeah, I mean, they should.
Yeah,
They
it's
definitely
got to be
can
a small
benefit.
community, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And then, it's mutually beneficial for them to all hang out.
Hmm.
Did you see Bravo has a new selling, what is
Yes.
it? Selling SLC or something like that in
Hmm.
their real estate show. Are you going to watch that?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It's on Bravo. Of course I
You
will.
might be, yeah, you might be hearing about that show from us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested. I'm interested in checking that out. Yeah, definitely. So someone who I would like to see personally back on reality TV is Kim Zolciak. She she's kind of one of my all-time favorite housewives and just reality personalities in general. But so she had been on a competitive reality game show recently, and she was with another group of reality stars or celebrities, and
Yes,
one
so
of
I
them was
watched it.
Chet Hanks.
Hmm.
What's the name of that? What was the name of that show again?
It's the old school celebrity, it's on
Oh,
VH1.
Surreal Life, I think.
It's real
Yeah.
life, yeah. So I
Yeah.
did watch it. There were 10 episodes, and it started when we were in Cabo, and I remember telling you in Cabo how good it was, but we couldn't get it to load because we were going to watch
That's
it.
right.
So I watched all 10 episodes, and here's the interesting thing. I'll follow up to what I think you're going to say in a second. So you tell me what
Yeah.
you heard.
Well, I mean, one, I'm just reporting on that her and Kim and Chet Hanks, son of Tom Hanks and Rita, right? Rita Wilson.
Hmm.
So they're dating, or she posted a picture of the two of them that kind of indicated they were Instagram official. And he's kind of gives me Croy vibes a little, like he's this big kind of football player-esque, which looks nothing like Tom Hanks, and he's looks quite probably young.
Hmm.
So anyway, it looks like a fun little thing for her to do.
So here's the thing. The show is really good. They had amazing chemistry together, the two of them. And as the show continued over the course of the episodes, Josie Moran is on there. She's the son of Josie Canseco. She's the son of Jose Canseco, daughter. So at the episode 9, they hooked up. Chet and Josie hooked up, and I do believe that they banged. Although Kim and Chet were in the bathroom for a couple hours, like in season or episode 3. So it didn't appear. It appeared that the relationship went to a brother sister more type between Kim and Chet, but they had amazing chemistry, and I can see why they got along. So for the two of them to come back, because I think he moved from LA to Nashville after the show ended, for the two of them to pop up back together, I am not surprised at all.
Okay.
But I just can't see Kim doing sloppy seconds like that unless she had her own time with him in the bathroom. He's charismatic. He's very charming. He's definitely a ladies' man.
Okay. Well, let's see. Let's see how long this lasts. It's exciting.
Yeah.
Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. So this fight was on last night.
Hmm.
I watched it, and
Yep.
because I was just not that I'm necessarily a boxing fan, I was just really interested to see how Mike Tyson was going to do, and it was pretty good. They went all rounds, and ultimately, Jake Paul did win the fight. Not a huge surprise, although I wouldn't have mind seeing old Mike do a little, get a little comeback.
But
So yeah, it was good.
it was boring, right? That's what the consensus is. It was boring. It almost appeared as though Jake Paul was afraid to throw a hard punch because Mike's punches must be pretty high impact. But Mike, wasn't moving quick, right?
Yeah, he did seem to slow down. Yeah, he did seem like, yeah, he was getting into the slow motion toward in the last few rounds.
But
So,
claps in the
mhm,
chat for all of them, for Mike for doing it, for Jake for being brave enough, all the way
mhm.
around. Claps.
I want to say
All the celebs that were there.
we looked it up, and I think Mike got 20 million out of it,
Oh,
and
well, there you
Jake
go. That's
got
the
like
reason.
40. Yeah, I'm
He
like, what?
got double. Why would he get double?
I believe it's just because, well, he initiated the entire thing. He organized,
Oh,
got the whole thing put together. He's kind of the mastermind behind it.
hmm.
Yeah. So, and then maybe too, just because, he was favored. So,
Look,
but
I don't know anything about boxing, but I will tell you when you Wii box, you're out of breath in 2 seconds. Remember Wii
oh,
with the control? You would remember when you used to box each other and you'd be like in 2 seconds, but you could do the long jump and the
yeah.
swimming.
Yeah, it's a workout for sure. But I did want to say, I had a little personal story about Mike Tyson. I mean, he has lived in Vegas for quite some time, but there was a time, and this was years ago. We were in college at UNLV. I was flying back to LA, back home to see my family, and he was on my plane. And I didn't know it because I had boarded, and then he came on, with his kind of like little entourage after, and they were in the front of the plane. And so as everybody exited, my dad was waiting for me, and he was like, "Oh my God, Mike Tyson's on the plane." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I thought, I had a feeling there was like a celebrity or something. There was like, kind of some hubbub going on. And so he's like, I got to get his autograph. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So we go running down, chasing this man down, stop, and my dad asked him for an autograph. And I was like terrified. And he
I
he was
don't like it
holding
either.
he was holding a duffel bag, and he like drops the duffel bag, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm dying." And so he's like, "Oh, yeah, of course, man, do you have a paper and pen?" And he stood right there and he signed his name on like the pillar. He put the paper up and signed it and gave it to my dad. And he just was really sweet. I mean, he didn't, have to do that. And, but anyway, so, you know, let's live for Mike. Win or lose, you're a winner. You're a winner in our hearts. um, I came across something fun that I want to put on our calendars, and because I love roller skating. I have I'm
Hmm.
a roller girl at heart. You might stand and watch me on the sidelines,
Hmm.
but
Yep.
there's a thing called flippers, and it's kind of like a pop-up roller rink that they've put up at the Tao Day Club outside.
Oh,
So kind of like, instead of doing the ice rink, it's a roller rink,
yeah.
and it looks like a ton of fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, yeah, so I want to do that. So that opened earlier this month, November, and it's open through January.
Oh, nice.
And it looks like you could rent skates there or bring your
Hmm.
own. They've got a DJ, so it's a really fun party atmosphere. Um,
Yeah, that's really cool.
so I definitely want us to check that out. And then we got to go to the Neon Museum
Hmm.
together recently, which the museum's been around for a while, but it's fun when you have people in town and you kind of, you get to play tourist and go to, some of these places that, have been around for a while, but they could be new to you. And
Hmm.
yeah, so we had a great time at the Neon Museum, walked around. It is outdoors in downtown, right on Las Vegas Boulevard. We went right at dusk,
Because I
so we
had
got
looked
some.
it up, and that was
Mhm.
when the best time to take pictures is because the light from the signs lights up better in pictures at dusk. Once it gets dark, all you see is the lights almost. Not all the signs were turned on, and it is pretty small. Very limited parking, so keep this in mind when you go. I would not go like on a Saturday afternoon.
yeah, if you don't have to drive, if you can just be dropped off,
Yep.
that's ideal
Ideal.
because yeah, there is a shortage of parking in that area, and you are outside, so keep the weather in mind for that. They had a really cute gift shop with lots of fun merchandise. And some of the signs, and they're not all hotel signs, some of them are just notable places in Vegas that, they had a really cool neon sign that they
Yeah.
ended up, donating to the museum. And so that's there. And it's great too. Each one's marked and it has a placard with a description giving you a little bit of the history and the background on each of the signs. And you just kind of self-guided, you walk yourself through, and they've kind of docents throughout there, so if you have questions, they're really knowledgeable and give you some really good inside scoop on the signs in the museum. So yeah,
Yep.
check it out. Well, good. Hey, this has been a great show.
Yes.
Don't forget to follow us. We're on Instagram and TikTok at Heathers Do Vegas. Leave us a note. Tell us, place you'd love us to visit and check out, and we can review that for you on the show.
Like us, subscribe, leave us a comment, click below to show us some love. We appreciate you listening.
Okay. Well, until next time, don't do anything we wouldn't do.
Heathers Do Vegas is brought to you by your hosts, Heather Ashley and Heather Nicole. It's edited by Joshua Ramsey with the Act 3 Agency. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe so you never miss out on any of the action.